All right. Good evening, everyone. NBT Nation. Adam Spack coming to you live, certified no boring trainer on a random Wednesday night live. Wanted to pop in to talk about a couple different things. One is I'm testing out some new camera configurations here at the NBT studios using a Lumix GX5 camera as opposed to the old Logitech webcam. Let me know if you've joined us here. What's the quality? Does it look a little better? What's your thoughts on the studio here, etc., etc.? But the real reason for jumping in is twofold, my friends. Twofold. One is I want to talk about the idea of pace planning, PACE, pace planning, and got an exciting announcement, huge announcement here at NBT World Headquarters. NBT headquarters here on a random Wednesday night live. So wanted to reach out to NBT Nation, those of us who deliver training on a regular basis, those of you who deliver training, whether it's in a classroom or whether it's virtually, you're an instructor who delivers instructor-led training, you're in front of the studio audience, things are going to go wrong. Things are going to go haywire. I've been there when the internet dies, the power goes out, snowstorms disrupt travel for participants traveling in for the workshop. Snowstorms or inclement weather, hurricanes are disrupting travel on the way home. You reserve the training room 3 weeks ahead of time and somebody at the last minute needs it really, 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 really bad. All manner of things can go completely nuts while you're delivering training. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to handle that? Well, pace planning, PACE, can be a really excellent tool. So here we are on a Wednesday night, random live. If you're finding this interesting already, please leave me a comment below, introduce yourself, and be sure to comment or be sure to subscribe to the channel so we can continue to making great content like this to really help those who deliver training and the leaders who want to achieve business outcomes through the vehicle of training in their organization. Those are the two groups that we help. If you're liking this, be sure to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, tag in a friend, or leave a comment. So, pace planning, it comes from the military. It's got a military background. It is certainly nothing that I've invented or created, but it is a very effective way to deal with the heartburn and issues that can happen and have a roadmap of pre-planned responses to deal with those issues that come along. So just real briefly, PACE, primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. Primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. So in other words, you go through a laundry list of topics, all of the things that can go wrong, and then work to have a canned response of how you're going to deal with that. So here's basically how it works in a sort of a quick overview. What is your primary, what does the primary state look like? What is the best outcome you could hope for? All your participants show up, all your electronics work, your participants are ready to go. They've completed the pre-class work. All your instructors are lined up. The room is reserved. Food is showing up on time. There's not going to be any rogue elephants or werewolves that are going to distract everything. And you go through and really define out what is that desired best outcome. That's primary. That's primarily what you want to have happen. That's awesome. And then you can use that roadmap for planning. So if the primary goal for a training session is that all of your participants will travel across the country and get to some hotel, now you can really think about, well, what am I got to do to get them across the country and into that hotel at go time? And then you could start mapping out, well, I got to communicate what hotel. I got to communicate how to do reservations. We got to decide who's booking the travel, who's paying for the travel, all that sort of stuff. So primary is pretty straightforward. This is the main way we plan to do things. We're going to have a laptop. It's my laptop. I'm the instructor. The laptop is charged. It's plugged in to the camera or the overhead projector that projects the deck up on the screen, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But That's the primary plan. So primary, pretty easy, pretty straightforward in terms of defining what that desired goal looks like, putting together the roadmap of how to achieve the desired goal. That's a lot of hard work. Then you got alternate. So you go through each one of those line items. And what is the backup plan in case you can't get to the primary? So, in other words, if the goal is to have them in a hotel room, what are you going to do if there's a snowstorm that disrupts everything? What are you going to do if the hotel burns down the day before you get there? What's the backup plan if the main ballroom's not available? Well, do they have another room that you could just go down the hallway and, hey, don't go to this room, go to that room? If you're going to a hotel, is there a secondary hotel close by or some other big banquet room that you could quickly make arrangements with as a backup? So primary that's the goal. Alternate is the backup to that goal. So I'll give you another quick example. Your primary is going to be a PowerPoint presentation that you use as a slide deck to help visually augment your training, right? Your alternate might be that you have a dry erase board as a backup, just in case the computer explodes and you can't get your slide deck up there and the deck won't work and the projector's broken, blah, blah, blah. And no big deal. I just go over to the dry erase board and I'll kind of sketch everything out. So primary, that's the main thing that you're wanting to accomplish. Alternate is the backup to that. So then we get to contingency. Well, now you're starting to think through, well, if my first line backup doesn't work, what's the next best option? And you go through all those laundry list of items. What's if this is the primary, this is the alternate. Now here's the contingency. So I'll give you an example. The primary is that we're going to have food catered in for the event. It's a live classroom thing. We're going to cater in food and it's going to show up and be ready to go at 11:45. That's primary. Alternate is that if the caterer just goes haywire, we're going to go down to the hotel restaurant and they know that they might have a table of 30 show up. That's the alternate. The contingency might be that you find 2 or 3 delivery type places nearby that you can just call and say, hey, I got to place an order for 30 portions of this or 30 sub sandwiches or 30 pizzas or 30 whatever. So now if your caterer goes off the deep end, you know already what you're going to do. You're just going to march down to the restaurant. If for some reason the restaurant's closed, no big deal, because you got 2 or 3 backup restaurants that, okay, it's not great, but at least it's something. You can at least have some food and you don't have to disrupt your training or put as much energy into your training, disrupting your training to try to figure out, oh my God, what do we do with the food while you're trying to deliver training? You already know the roadmap. You just tell the person that's assisting you, which of course you should have some of those, right? You just, they just go down the laundry list of pre-planned options. Caterer didn't show up. I called them. The phone's disconnected. Okay, well, let me go down and see if the restaurant's closed. Okay, well, here's the 3 fast food joints that I found ahead of time. Let me call and get a delivery set up. So that's an example of contingency. And you can go through that list. Here's all the details of executing on this training session. Here are all the backups to that. Now here's the backups to the backup. Here's where it gets crazy. PACE, primary, alternate, contingency, emergency. What are we going to do? So emergency is the backup to the backup to the backup. So I'm just going to stick with the food as an example. Hopefully we got the caterer showing up. If that doesn't work, we'll go to the hotel restaurant. If that doesn't work, we got our 2 or 3 local delivery places that we can quick put an order in. If that doesn't work, there's a place right down the street. We're going to get everybody to get in the car. We'll go there. We've already got the company credit card. We've got approval from the CFO to take everybody out to lunch. And we'll just get in the cars and go. It'll be a little bit disruptive. It'll change our delivery schedule. We're going to lose time because we got to get everybody there and everybody back. So that may interfere with the actual timing and sequence of the event. But if worst comes to absolute worst, y'all just hop in a car and go down the street. So a really quick walkthrough of PACE planning, primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency, and really going through the time and effort to think about all of the things that can go wrong. Actually, start off with all the things that go right and how do you get to that? And then start thinking about what are we going to do if things start going wrong, and having those pre-planned responses in place, and then doing all the work in the background to make sure those pre-planned responses actually happen. Excuse me. I'm telling you, it's a lot of work on the front end, but it beats the pants off of being live in front of a big audience and the internet dies and you're sitting there scrambling in the moment going, now what do I do? And everybody's looking at you, and you can feel the audience losing attention, and they all start going to their cell phones, and they all go out to the bathroom or what have you. Same thing with a virtual event. I've delivered a lot of virtual training over the years. You got to have a backup plan for there, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. What if your power goes out? What if your internet goes down? What if their power goes out? What if their internet goes down? What if your company's system that you're all dialing into goes down? What's the backup plan? Have you communicated the backup plan to everybody? Do they know what to do if the internet goes down? I'll give you a real quick example about that. I was doing some virtual training. This was in the height of COVID. Doing some virtual training. My PACE plan was that everything was going to work. We were all going to log in through a Teams meeting, and then we would do the training session in Teams. If my power flickered or internet went down, they've been given instructions ahead of time. Just hang out for a little bit. If it's a power flicker, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and I can use my mobile device to send you a message to say, just everybody calm down. I'll be back in 5 minutes. No big deal. So that was the alternate. The contingency was if it was going to be a longer delay. Let's say power went out in the entire county. I already knew of a hotel just up the street that I could go to their lobby. They got a little business area, and that they would let me use their business area to log into their internet, and I could at least do the training from there, take my headset, what have you. It wouldn't be great. It'd be kind of not so great because I wouldn't have all my visual aids, and I'd be out of my office. I'd be, in a hotel, people walking by, but it'd be something. The emergency that was contingency. Emergency was I'd just bail on the whole thing. If it was going to be something catastrophic, worldwide Teams outage, solar flare shuts down the national grid and everybody's power's out, you just cancel the session. So another quick example of PACE planning. So that was a little bit longer than I intended it to be. PACE planning, primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency. What is the desired end state? Really line out all the details of the things that have to happen to get there. Of course, plan to make that happen and put that into place. And then what is the alternate, the contingency, and the emergency? You could Google PACE planning, PAC, get a lot better explanations. You can watch a lot of cool videos, etc. But PACE planning, do all this work on the front end. It's going to save you a bunch of heartburn when you're actually delivering training to your audience. So there you go, PACE planning. Leave me a comment down below. Have you ever used PACE planning? How do you plan for all the stuff that's going to go wrong during your training sessions? What's your roadmap for how you're going to deal with that? Leave me some comments down below. Let me know how that works on your end. All right, so there's item number one. If you find this helpful, if you like this sort of content, leave me a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so we can keep making great content like this. Item number two on tonight's agenda. Item number two. Get a little drink here real quick. Item number two. Coming soon. Coming soon. No boring training. The corporate learning crisis. You can join the fight against the corporate learning crisis. Not quite ready to launch this yet, or to really promote it rather. But you can join NBT Nation. not only just sign up on the website, but actually join a monthly subscription service of like-minded professional corporate trainers, whether that's somebody who trains full-time as a role, as a job, somebody who delivers a lot of training as part of a different job. You know, they're not a full-time trainer, but their job role requires them to deliver training on a fairly regular basis. And then leaders of organizations who want to use learning to achieve business outcomes. So the trainers themselves, either part-time or full-time, and leaders who want to use learning to make big business outcomes. You're going to be able to join a monthly subscription service called NBT Nation. I'm really, really excited about this, and there's going to be a lot that comes with this. That's why I'm not really promoted this thus far. What are the benefits of joining NBT Nation? Well, number one, you get access to all the videos in the on-demand video library. So if you go to noboringtraining.com, that's noboringtraining.com, you can shop individual videos that I've curated from across the social feeds that are really targeted at very specific business topics. You can purchase those individual videos. There's 40 some, almost 50 some videos, all organized by about 7 or 8 different topics. So you can really dial in and say, hey, this video is really interesting to me, and buy that individual video. That's the on-demand video library. NBT monthly subscription gets you access to all 50 of those videos, all 50 of them. Those videos are curated from across the social media feeds and exclusive content. So for one low monthly price, you get access to that video library. Now, if you don't want to join NBT Nation, you just want to go to the video library, buy one video because it meets your needs. Awesome. Great. Glad to help you there. But the first big benefit of joining NBT Nation is you get access to almost 50 long form videos on a variety of topics. Item 2, you get access to exclusive blog posts. So right at noboringtraining.com, you can get blog posts on various learning topics, all free. But there's some exclusive content out there that a monthly subscription to NBT Nation will get you access to. I'm going to also start launching a once a month exclusive website live session. So this is obviously YouTube live. Going to continue to do these on a fairly sporadic basis, but once a month, if you join NBT Nation, you'll get a website exclusive live session. All part of NBT Nation, one low monthly subscription, also going to include a monthly community Zoom call, as you can ask me anything. We can share best practices as training professionals, but then you can AMA, ask me anything related to training. It could be about the delivery of training, the planning of training, how do you navigate training challenges in your organization? Maybe you're a trainer and you're dealing with some leaders who really don't support training, or you're dealing with some frontline managers who really block training. We can talk about that openly. Maybe you're a leader of an organization and you want to stand up a training program and you don't know where to start. NBT Nation, that's that once a month Zoom call. For one low monthly subscription, you get access to me directly. Now, you can do a one-on-one session. That is definitely a service that I offer at noboringtraining.com. I do half an hour and full hour sessions, but join NBT Nation and you get a once a month community Zoom call where we can all get together and share ideas and ask me anything. And then last but not least is membership in the NBT community. There's much more to come on that aspect, but want to get professional trainers together, whether you deliver training, whether you're an instructional designer, whether you're just a facilitator, or again, a leader of an organization who wants to do big things through the vehicle of training in your firm. So lots there. NBT Nation, it's a huge announcement. I'm so excited. There's the structure in place. It's not quite ready to launch full time. Not really promoting it on all the social media channels, but I'm sharing it right here on this random Wednesday night live. We'll see who catches this. If you hear this part of the video, leave me a comment down below. Just comment NBT Nation. I'm all about it. let me know that you heard this part. But NBT monthly subscription, you get access to an entire library of on-demand videos, exclusive blog posts, a once-a-month Zoom call, and you get an exclusive live stream just to you via the website, noboringtraining.com. So there you go. Just a little Wednesday night live, testing out a new camera. Let me know what you think about the video quality. Wanted to talk about pace planning, PACE, really, really useful tool. And then last but not least, the huge announcement, NBT Nation, stand up in the fight against the corporate learning crisis. If you're tired of boring training sessions that put you to sleep, whether that's you're delivering the training as a part-time thing, you're a full-time trainer, or you're a leader who wants to achieve big business results, there's a way to do it, and it doesn't have to suck. Thanks, everybody, for joining me. We'll talk again here real soon. Stand up against boring training.